Hello everybody, I'm John Hindhoff. We are 4 hours into the 50th anniversary running of the Nürburgring 24 hours. The Nordschleife and the rest of the circuit now plunged into complete darkness and has been for pretty much an hour, maybe a little bit more than that now. Time for one of our updates. We'll be back around 11 o'clock tonight as well as we get into the real meat of the night. But we thought we'd come back and give you a little bit of background as to what's happened so far. And delighted to say that joining me in the studio from the number one Phoenix car, the defending champion effectively of this race. That's why it's got the number one. And Frederick Vervisch is with me in the Audi Sport live studio. When you talk to Alan McNish, first of all, sorry, welcome along. I'm forgetting my manners. I'm so excited about the racing. When you talked to Alan McNish at the start of the race, you were having a little bit of fun about how Nico Müller had basically said, oh, I think Fred should start the race, thanks very much, because the weather's awful. And you were like, oh, thanks very much. However, you had two brilliant stints, and the first part of the first stint in particular was fantastic in the worst of conditions. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, first of all, hi everybody, and thanks for having me. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, and when I indeed spoke with Alan before the start, it was really like that. Normally, Nico was scheduled to start, but then he said with the circumstance and everything, he said, yeah, well, I mean, if you want to start, it would be not bad, you know. And then I said, okay, because I felt in normal rain conditions the whole week, I feel the car is we made a good step since the preparation we did. So for me, it was fine. And yeah, and to answer your question, yeah, I liked it a lot. I enjoyed it a lot. It's always nice if you have performance in the car and you don't have to go crazy. So yeah, it was cool.
Picked your way through from a starting position of 13th on the grid, and we're right at the sharp end of the field. The car currently sits in second position. You've handed over to Nico. In fact, he's due into the pits the end of the current lap that he is on. 2 8-lap stints. Now, we expected 8-lap stints, certainly in the dry condition. How close were you to being able to go to a 9, or was it the tyre condition that dictated that you came in after the 8?
It was not tire condition, but we're also fuel limited and time limited. So in the rain you can drive just a bit more. I mean, it depends on the code 60s and full Corgello situations. But the first thing we went, we went a bit longer than the others because we were quite free as well, which is an important factor. And so yeah, I think the team picked out a good strategy. And yeah, we clearly had an advantage from that.
Well, your teammate in the number one car, Frank Stippler, started the 5 car, and he had a pretty good first stint, and you two just carved your way through the field. But I can't stress how horrible it looked from here, looking on the TV screens, Fred. We couldn't see which car. I'm trying to decide what car it was, and all I could see was lights. That was from the TV cameras. It must have been even worse from where you were.
No, this is, like you said, this is really the difficult part. If you take the start, you're in the middle of the pack. It's rain and it's full of spray, so it's like on the camera, you don't see anything. You know more or less where the road goes, but you can easily go just on a straight line, go in the grass. And I even had it on 2 occasions, and it's yeah. I mean, this is then your feeling who decides how much risk or how much. How much risk you have to take. It's not really a risk, but it's if one accident happens in front of you, you will always be too late to react, so, because you don't see it. So, but if you drive, or let's say fully off the throttle, it's also dangerous for the guys behind you. So
yes.
It went well. So yeah.
So bad rain to start with. But this is the Nürburgring, so the weather and the conditions never stays the same for very long. It starts to dry up. And then the problem that I could see quite clearly from the onboards that we have access to, even in the first half an hour, there wasn't enough rain to come onto the screen. And the screen is just getting progressively dirtier and scarmy. And, you know, I could almost feel you and your teammates having to sort of move around to see it, and you're looking for the intermittent wipe and things like that. So even when it was drying up, it's not that easy.
I'm really impressed about the questions you are asking and the issues we had, because I was actually not really complaining, but I was suggesting to the team in the pit stop, please clean the window, because it was indeed like the part where the wiper doesn't wipe was getting full of mud, and this is just in your driver's eye. And I clipped some curb because you really cannot see, so yeah, great job.
You're going to have to get washer bottles or something like that fitted to a race car. I don't know if that is even possible. Okay, before I let you go, because I know you'll want to go and get some rest, what's the driver rotation going to be for the rest of the night? Nico, as I said, during end of this lap, he'll do a double, and then what?
And then it should be Dries, who came back from Zandvoort and passed all the tests, so he should do a double stint. Then should be Stipler.
Yeah.
I think goes for a single stint. I'm not sure because he's on both cars. And then in normal circumstances, I should be up at 1 o'clock, 1:30, depends.
So in the meat of the night, the real dead of night.
But a lot of rain, I think, so yeah.
Well, at least you know how to make the windscreen wipers work now. Fred, listen, it was tremendously entertaining. Thanks very much for being with us. Carry on the good work. Second position for that car. In fact, it's just come into the pits now, so it's given up that second position. But well done.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Thank you, we will. Frederik Vervees then from the number 1 Phoenix car. Let's go down to Alan McNeish, who's patrolling the pits for... Oh, there he is. Hello, Al. Sneaking up on my left shoulder there. Where do we find you, sir?
I'm down in the pits, actually, because I've just had a few pit stops coming through. The number 3 has just came in and gone back out with Bortolotti. And to be honest with you, look at this. There's a birthday cake here. Now, imagine having your birthday when it's the Nürburgring 24 hours. To give you a clue who it is, just look at this seat.
Ah, it's the rabbit.
It definitely is, and it's this man, Christopher Haase. I must say, the driver that's taken me round this track, the fastest I have ever been, to the point where I was pressing the imaginary brake pedal in the passenger seat. Christopher Haase, first of all, happy birthday.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And second of all, can I have some of your cake?
You can actually have 2 slices if you want.
Oh, well, thank you. But look, you've been away from this track. You've not actually been here through the practice. You've been in Zandvoort, and you finished second, so you've already had 1 podium today. Tell us about Zandvoort, first of all.
Yeah, actually, it's true. We were in Zandvoort, and we had 2 races. So race 1 was, let's say, not so good for us. We had no finish at this race. But on the second race, like you said, we finished on the podium, and it's quite a good result. It was also very difficult condition there, rain, dry. But I'm very happy to leave that race with a podium, and now we try to do the same here.
Well, that's not a bad way to spend your birthday so far. We've seen some pictures of you with the cake and everything else. We've got it down here. But coming into this particular race now, how did you get from Zandvoort to Nürburgring?
Yeah, we had a special delivery, I would say. We got a helicopter, and this helicopter brought us in around about 1 hour from Zandvoort to Nürburgring.
Bumpy?
And yes, I mean, if you watch the weather out there, we had quite some turbulence.
And now you're here. Look, your teammates obviously have taken the car through qualifying and also the start of the race. And now Mirko's in the car. When are you going to get in and do a little bit of hard work?
Yeah, after the last stint of Mirko, which he's doing right now, this will be my first stint for the 24-hour race. And it's going to be dark at that moment. I hope that it will not rain at the same time. And yeah, we'll try to do my best then.
But Christopher, you've got quite a difficult job through this particular race because one of your teammates, Robin Frins, is not going to be in the car, so it's actually only 3 drivers. So how does that impact on the driving time? Which, if I'm honest, when I look at it, I think, God, that's so mentally tiring just to do a double stint, never mind only having 3 drivers when normally you have 4.
It's true, especially in conditions like this where it's always changing. And for example, when you are on slick tires in drizzle condition or little rain, this is extremely mentally hard to manage. And with 3 drivers, it definitely is a lot of effort for everybody. And but we try our best, and yeah, we keep pushing.
I'm sure you will keep pushing because I know you very well that you push and you push absolutely flat out. So I would like to wish you all the very best. I'm going to be watching. I'm actually going to go live on board because last time I was in a car with this man was round here, and it was live and it was fantastic. And I remember coming through the foxhole and just holding on with my eyes closed because I wasn't sure whether we were going to make it out. Clearly he was only 80%, but my head was thinking, this is mental. Christopher, have a good one.
Thank you, thank you.
Disappear on me, Mr. McNish. If you want to have a really interesting ride, why don't you let me take you round in something?
I would like to make it to the end of the lap, actually, John. At least with him, I knew. The flip side was I was going to take him around Le Mans and give him a lap around Le Mans because he gave me one of the brilliant laps around here.
Alan, just before I let you go, first 4 hours, that's a significant chunk of the race.
Yes, it is.
And any endurance race, you tend to break it up into manageable lumps. Otherwise, it scrambles your brain, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. You've got to sort of take it in steps, bite-sized chunks, if you like. And you say that 4 hours is one of them, but that means there's still 20 to go. And so you've still got a heck of a lot to go, especially around here. And so what I used to do was I would sort of think of it from my perspective as driving stints and what I needed to do. And then during that driving stint, I would give myself a certain target where I wanted to be from where the car was when I got in to where I had to give it back to my teammate when I got back out. And that was the way that I managed my driving section and my chunks of the race. The one thing is, for the car itself, it doesn't know whether it's hour 1, 2, 3 or 10 or 20. It's got to be there and flat out. It's got to be underneath you all the time. And that's where really the hard work and testing that goes in before you get to this race is so important.
Plenty of racing still to go, Alan, obviously, but how would you assess the first 4 hours for the Audi teams, both Audi Sport and the Audi Customer Racing teams? We talked about them qualifying outside the top 10, but it hasn't seemed to affect the strategy at all.
No, very clearly they came straight through and were up into 5, 6, 7, that sort of area. Then after that you got into the position where it was rain on different parts of the circuit. There was the slow zone areas and getting caught there. But I think right now that everybody's settled into a rhythm. And we've already seen one of the main contenders go out. And I think that's something, speaking to Christopher and also to Kelvin van der Linde, who also came back from Zandvoort today, for those cars, it's about getting through the night. Getting through the night, still in touching distance with everybody else. And then after that, tomorrow, then it's going for it. Because tomorrow, remember as well, it should be a little bit drier. We hope it's a little bit drier and certainly warmer.
You say that, I expect you to turn, particularly while we're doing this, and you know that I've got you on the screen just over my shoulder there, so I'm looking at you now. I expect you to turn around to a weather map anytime now and tell me about the fronts that's coming in from the west.
Well, I'm actually inside and I haven't seen a weather map, but my toes and bunions are telling me that it's going to be drier tomorrow.
Right, well, get yourself warmed up, Alan. Thank you very much indeed. We'll talk to you again later on.
I'll
Alan
see you
McNish.
later on. I'm going to enjoy it down here in the pits for a wee while.
A great place to be, always. Alan McNish joining us from the pit lane there. And happy birthday to Christopher Hase. And if you don't speak German and you're wondering why all the rabbits, Hase in Germany is rabbit. I'm right in saying that. I'm looking to the boss. Thank goodness I got that right then. So that's why there is all the bunnies on there. Our colleague, Shea Adam, is a bit bunny-phobic, actually, so that would make her just a little bit nervous. Right, Alan was talking about the deep depths of the night there, and when we come back at 11 o'clock Central European summertime, we'll be getting close to midnight, moving into Sunday, and we'll reassess what's going on there after another big chunk of the race. And of course, if we're going to go into those nighttime hours, we need the soft, mellow sounds. Who else could we possibly have but Chris Renke? He'll take you into that time of night and we'll find out exactly what's going on strategy-wise with all of the Audi Sport and the Audi Sport Customer Racing teams. So don't go too far away. Stay tuned in. We've got the international feed on the split screen as well, so you can keep up to date with everything that's going on. And while you're on the portal, have a good look around. There's a lot of information on there, including the archive of all of our previous shows. So if you want to catch up on where we've been and what we've been doing in the early part of the weekend, you can do that as well on the split screen or split it off onto another computer or to another screen. Thank you to Fred Verveesh, Christopher Hase and to Alan McNish. I'm John Hindhaugh for the moment and until 11 o'clock. Bye-bye for now.